Good evening. Now that you're all cozied up with your slippers, your hot chocolate, and your robe, now let's get ready to watch some CBC News brought to you by Angry Birds, Hasbro International Toy Company, Old Spice, believe in the smell. For those cold nights in Canada, always fresh, always Tim Hortons. Ben Whitaker.
I'm Jessica Kios. Today's story is on the magnificent baby boom.
Over the last 19 years, we've been in a period of time known as the baby boom.
The baby boom was caused by the end of World War II, when all the soldiers returned home from fighting overseas. The men and their wives were ecstatic about not having to put their lives on the line anymore. They decided they would have children in order to celebrate life.
After that, the baby boom should have ended, but the government introduced something called family allowances, or the baby bonus. The movement paid for the families to raise their children. It provided some basic necessities such as food, clothing, and shelter to those parents.
The government wanted to do this because of the surprisingly low population of Canada. The population was so low because of the war that had just passed, and the citizens of Canada didn't want to bring a child into the Great Depression.
Men and women were afraid to have children because they didn't feel as if they could financially support them. Now that the war had pulled them out of the Depression, people were ready to have big families, just like in the early 1900s. This time, instead of it being for the need for children on farms, it was for the celebration of life and government influence.
Once we reach the 20th century, there will be a much larger population of those above 60 and much less of a younger population.
When the baby boomers retire in the 21st century, they will receive their pension, which is when the government pays you because of the work you've done over your career.
Since the government will give a lot of their money to the retired baby boomers, there isn't going to be much money in the economy left for the younger generations.
One positive effect of the baby boom was there are many more workers to help the economy grow. Therefore, Canada is growing in the industry area with the help of the new baby boomer generation.
After World War II, Canada became larger in its own nation.
Over the course of the baby boom, there was approximately 79 million births.
The amount of births caused the construction of new schools all over the place.
Now there are a lot of schools that are closing because the generations are smaller and they don't need any schools They don't need any more schools.
Schools were not the only institution that were expanded. All kinds of hospitals and industries were expanded to compensate for the huge influx of children and working class people. Soon a lot of these institutions will be closed due to the lack of people in them.
Cities were expanded and the creation of suburbs, subdivisions, or surveys came about. The idea was, why not make a bunch of homes that look the same in order to maximize efficiency?
All the homes were created in the same fashion so the builders could meet the high demand for homes.
The baby boom was an important era in Canadian history. It led to a lot of expansion and allows us to flow into the future.
You stay classy, Grimsby.